Guys are coming off a good road trip here, good position. I know you don't get overconfident, but just what's just the mindset of the team, just the confidence that you guys have been through so many different situations, knowing that you can, that if you face a little adversity, things don't go off the wheels like maybe they did in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're a confident group, and I think we've earned that trust, and we've, played our way to get that confidence in ourselves as a team. I think Winnipeg is a good example where we come out in the third, where first and second maybe wasn't our best, but we found a way to win in that third period, and obviously Gibby played amazing again, but holding them to one goal with a lot of high-end scoring touch on that team is big for us as well.
Because you've been around obviously some teams here, some good, not so good. What is it about this team that's really standing out? I mean, how have you guys been able to get as far as you have at this point?
I think we got a lot of guys that's been together for a longer period of time now, that we know each other really well. We trust each other in different situations, and I think the same thing with that. It's built over time, and I think this group is really special. And like I said earlier, it hasn't came for free. We've had to earn it, and slowly building that confidence and identity as a team. But it's a lot of games left, and we got to keep going the same way. So, but it's fun times. I mean, that's why we play, right?
That chemistry and cohesion that doesn't always show up on the stat sheet. How big advantage has that been for this group when you have everyone that seems to be really close?
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot, especially this year with so many games, and you're with each other basically every day. So to have a close group like we have, I think it's huge. It makes it fun coming to the rink every day, and you want to go that extra bit for your teammate and do that extra work. So like I said, we have a great group, and we'll look to keep that going.
Marco had a tough first half, but it looks like the last several games here since he's been on your line there, he's kind of picking it up there. What do you see from this game?
Yeah, I mean, Marco's he's a really good player. I think everyone saw it last year, especially. I think this year, second year could be tough, and I think for him, the way he's working every day in practice, in games, it doesn't always show up on the score sheet, but I mean, I think he has most hits on our team, and works as hard as anybody every game. So for a guy like that, it's gonna come. It's about being patient, and happy for him to get on the score sheet these last couple of games.
You've been on the score sheet a lot this stretch in the season. What did you like the most about your game and just taking that step from last season?
I mean, I feel like every summer, every year, you go into to an off season. You want to develop certain things. You want to get better as a player. For me, it's the same, and then you work out with it throughout the year. So, I guess just seeing some things that you work on coming to fruition, and gives you a little bit of encouragement to keep going with that. So, it's about doing the simple things, and then you'll hopefully get rewarded.
How was the ride in?
Slow.
Yeah,
Slow and safe.
lots of snow.
Any update on Simon?
Yeah, Simon won't play tomorrow, and he'll be out until the Olympic break.
How does that affect your lineup? He's a pretty significant.
He is a significant piece, but we have others that are going to have to go in and play, and they've done that already for a couple games and done an admirable job. When you lose players, there's all the cliches, somebody else steps up, all that type of stuff. It just means that everybody has to pull a little harder and and do a little bit more. And if you manage the game properly, you can get through it.
And, there might be a temptation with Sherratt. He's played with Moritz quite a bit in the past on the top pairing. But do you like him with Axel?
Well, Trent's managing that back there during the game. And he's making some judgment calls. If you look at the Winnipeg game, even the Minnesota game, there's different pairs of guys going out at different times. And I think that'll continue. It's not a bad, I guess this got to come out right. We don't want Simon out of the lineup, but the fact that we got to shuffle some things around and guys have to play with other partners and in different situations, that's not a bad thing for the group. They haven't had a lot of adversity back there, knock on wood, for injuries. So now we got to deal with it, and it's not the end of the world. They're capable of playing with different partners at different times in different situations.
And last one for me, just you kind of mentioned this in Minnesota, that it could have been a take the night off excuse, but the consistency your team has shown, how key is that?
It's real important. We saw what could happen when you're not consistent in the past. Last year we had some real good runs and then some extended runs where we weren't so good, and it took us longer to get into the good ones and to get out of the bad ones, and that's usually a sign of inconsistency. Fortunately, so far this year we haven't had many of those. When we've hit the ditch, we've been able to drive ourselves out, and we're getting. I'd like to think we're getting better in that area. So let's focus now. We've got 5 games left. Focus, live in the moment, the present, stay focused, and take them one at a time.
Ted, has Simon been dealing with this, or is this just something that came up during a road trip?
Came up during the road trip.
Just the fact that you guys have been the core of this team has been around together for a while now. Do you think that they're at that point where they kind of understand what it takes now, basically, to be successful in this league?
I'd like to think they do. They've learned some lessons, throughout the years, and the organization was in different spots on their path, and the core had to deal with it. But the core is, there's some obvious ones. Your captains, your assistants, but there's auxiliary pieces that step into that core all the time, and they bring valuable experience. So, when you use the word core, I don't know how many you're thinking or who we're thinking of, but there are auxiliary guys that step in and play big roles.
You talked in Toronto about Albert and what he's shown you over the last couple of weeks, but he and Jacob as a pair together, where have they grown over the last several weeks?
Well, they're much more confident. They consistently have played together. I guess kind of contradicts what I said earlier, but they have consistently played together for a long time. When we started the season, we're kind of going back and forth with Doc and Harmonic in and out, and that's sometimes a good thing, or sometimes it's a bad thing. Players get anxious. They don't know if they're playing or not. Albert wasn't sure who his partner was going to be early in the year. Up until this point, it's been pretty steady, and they've been able to play off each other fairly well.
It's every team's now at about 50 games, and you guys are point-wise tied for second most points in the league. At what point is that something that you raises Does that ever impact you guys when you look at the large-scale things?
I don't think it does. Our process has been to talk about what we're doing right now. We don't talk about how many points we have, how many we need, strength of schedules. We don't bring any of that stuff up. We talk about what we need to do as a team. And there's the odd challenge that's thrown in before a game, maybe about a season series or very precise for that night. But the big picture isn't talked about, no.
And then on the micro look with LA tomorrow, when they come in, obviously a team you personally know a lot about, and you've played them already this year. What about the way they kind of attack? And I know you guys were talking about them being really aggressive on the penalty kill. What comes to mind for preparing for them tomorrow?
Well, we have, Jans and I have a bit of an understanding of how they want to play. They evolved, they've changed things. Their coaching staffs have put in different schemes, if you want to call it that. But their DNA is a checking team. They aren't going to give you much. They're going to, and they relish the checking part of it. Kopi, Drew, those players won championships because they were keeping pucks out of the net, and it's still there. So you have to be aware of that when you play against them. They scored more goals over the last few games than they have been, so they're getting some guys back. Trevor Moore makes a big difference, and they can score. But the pre-scout part of it, we'll let our players know some tendencies, and it won't change for the LA Kings, in comparison to the 3 teams we just played.
Todd, just to be clear, is the expectation that Simon will be back after the Olympic break, or is that just...
That's the expectation,
okay.
Yeah.
With him being out for an extended period now, does that change the nature or tenor of your conversations with Steve about what you guys might want to add or do before the deadline?
No. If I came in today and said, hey, Simon's done for the season, then it may change, but we're going to get Simon back. And, it's not like he's going to lose his game anywhere. He'd be out he's already missed 2, so he'll have 7 total games missed when he does get back. It's compacted right now. When he comes back and he begins to play again, everybody will be coming off that break, so he'll fit right in with the rhythm of the team and all that type of stuff. So I don't think it changes anything dramatically.
Sticking kind of to the defensive thing, Ben Sherratt has had a good season, and he's been a pair with Mo before when Mo was kind of breaking into the league, playing with Axe a lot this year. What makes his game or who Ben is a good fit to play with a guy that, is probably going to make some mistakes and is learning how to break into the NHL?
He's got a calmness to him. I don't know if that's the veteran thing or confidence or having been around, but there's a calmness to him. When it's going really good, he's calm. When it's going bad, he's calm. And I think that, if I was playing with him, that would make me feel good when I needed it. And then he's big, he's strong, he's physical. Things that you take Axe, for example, things that will complement Axe's game. And, maybe most importantly, he remembers what it was like to be a 20-year-old or 22-year-old or a 24-year-old, whatever the age of the player might be. And he's had some good mentors, and he's probably had a couple that maybe he didn't enjoy playing with. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But they both influence, what Benny's doing. The good and the bad influence what Benny's doing now with our players.
From a team perspective, obviously the risk with the player going to the Olympics if he gets hurt.
Yep.
But is there also something to be said for, it's a sporting event like no other, like the emotional high of a player who goes.
Yeah, I think we're in the entertainment business. We are. That's what we do. And we have to promote our game around the world. And that's what the Olympics do. It's the premier sporting event, and the players have wanted to go for years. And they get the opportunity to go. With that opportunity there's inherent risk to players going. We've seen it happen in the past, but there's really nothing any of us can do about that. And the last thing those players are going to do is play it safe, if you will. They're going to play all out to win. That's how they're wired, and that's how they should play. The integration of players coming back from the Olympic or the 4 nations, that's a little bit trickier. We'll have 3. At this point, we only have 3, but they're 3 important players. Trying to get them their body clocks, their rhythm, their gas tanks full so it matches the team it's a challenge. But it can be done, and it will be done. There's a team this year that's going to hold up the Stanley Cup, and they're going to have players that went to the Olympics, so it can be done.
Todd, Casper's been productive here the last several games since getting reunited with Larkin. Are you just seeing a different level of confidence with him, or what are you seeing here in these last few games that's made a difference for him?
Yeah, he was playing the right way. I think I've said this a number of times. Like everything but the paper, the stat sheet at the end of the night was pretty damn good for a while. But that tick on the assist or the goal or whatever it might be wasn't there. So the reward for everything he was doing really wasn't there. He stuck with it this time, and he's pushed his way through. And now, he's getting he had a goal. He gets an assist here and there, but his game hasn't wavered. And I think he's figured that out, that if he just plays hockey the way that he can, it's a real positive thing for him and for us as a team, and the rest will take care of itself.
And are you going with Gibson tomorrow?
Going with Gibson tomorrow, yep. Okay, have a good day.